Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Akimale in Abuja. Happy Easter Friday to all of you, wherever you may be watching. Tonight seems to be one of those nights that we get to speak about those very uncomfortable part of politics, especially the opposition, and ahead of what has become an intense politicking and the debate over the 2027 election, and of course the state of the nation. It gets our attention tonight. My guest is one person that a lot of you love to listen to, a highly controversial person and a former governor. But before we get to talk about, to meet my guest tonight, it has been past days of security troubles in the country, and in some part of the country where we've seen some killings and raising tension in the nation to the extent of the damaging insurgents and gunmen have caused. Today, President Tinubu is giving a marching order to heads of security agencies to end insecurity in the country without delay. In the president's Easter message to the nation, the president says, I have given clear directives to the armed forces and all relevant security agencies to end insecurity decisively without delay, with the unwavering courage, according to him, and commitment of our gallant men and women in uniform. We are turning the tide and making steady progress in reclaiming peace and stability. As president of our blessed nation, I draw inspiration from this timeless message of hope and renewal. I remain steadfast in my commitment to delivering the promise of a renewed hope, a better, more just and prosperous Nigeria for all. End of quote. We get to talk more about the state of the nation, but the PDP and the state of affairs worry a lot of people who watch our democracy and its development in the country. How can a major opposition party be decimated this badly? Bloody nose in 2 consecutive elections, 3 consecutive elections, and now the party seems to be more divided. And there are those who think that the party can only get back on its feet if there's some kind of coalition. But there are those leaders in the party who say, no, there's no need for coalition. Where then does the party need to turn in this kind of situation? Well, it does look like Mr. Wike has even poured more petrol into the fire of the People's Democratic Party. Before I introduce my guest to you tonight, let's serve you with some of your political roundup stories.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has declared that more than 60% of residents in the Federal Capital Territory are now in the ruling party. Mr. Ganduje, who formerly received the chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Mekalangu, his councillors and hundreds of People's Democratic Party supporters and Labour Party members across the 6 area councils of the territory into the APC at a rally held at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja, says the Federal Capital Territory is too important to be left in the hands of opposition parties.
All the area councils in FCT and the senator of FCT, House of Representatives in FCT, all of them will be from APC political party.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress has set conditions for the former presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, regarding his possible return to the party. Speaking to journalists, the Kano State Chairman of the party, Mr. Abdullahi Abbas, says they have directed ward chapters to open registers to accommodate new members regardless of their social or political standing in accordance with the constitution of the APC. However, the chairman insisted that any prospective defector who had previously made derogatory remarks about President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima must issue a public apology as a sign of remorse and respect for future political alliances.
We unequivocally call on all those prospective decampees who have earlier made derogatory speeches against our leaders, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his deputy, Senator Qasim Ibrahim, to offer a public apology as a sign of romance and keep and respect for future relations.
In Enugu State, some members of the Enugu North Senatorial Zone and All Progressives Congress have described the endorsement of the Enugu State Governor, Peter Amba, for re-election come 2027 by stakeholders of the zone as premature and unfair. At a news conference in Enugu, the APC members say there is a need for the state government to address insecurity and overtaxation to be able to earn the people's vote and trust across the region. The Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebu land, Oba Sikiru Adetona, leaders of thought and other critical stakeholders have appealed to the federal government, the National and State Assembly to support the creation of Ijebu State with a capital in Ijebu-Ode from the old Ijebu province. Addressing the news conference in Ijebu-Ode, members of the Ijebu State Creation Implementation Committee, led by its chairman, Chief Chris Okunowo, says it has become imperative for the state to be created in the interest of equity, fairness and justice. They noted that all modalities and conditions for the creation of the state from the current Ogun state has been fulfilled.
Of course, 6 out of 9 local governments, without any doubt, is a clear majority. So I therefore have no qualms, and there is no dilemma in representing what the majority of my people want.
All right, and there you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. So let's begin by letting you know that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Wike, has again held a media chat where he has opened more doubt about the ability of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, opposing any re-challenge as an opposition party ahead of the 2027 elections to the sitting and ruling party, the APC. The minister says that the People's Democratic Party is not adequately prepared for the 2027 elections. Mr. Wike believes the PDP does not have a formidable structure to defeat the ruling APC in 2027. Take a listen to him.
And already, it's very obvious. You see, I have told you, look, I have an examination. I'm going to class to read. Indeed, am I reading? Am I studying? You don't need to deceive anybody that you know you're not reading. You're only trying to let people know that you have carried their bag to class. So I've seen my colleagues in the going to prep. Let me go out. You reach there. You're doing nothing. Then you say, but I want to study now. You know yourself. So people cannot say for sure. And I have said, it's not a question of whether you like me. It's not about whether you like. You don't like I've said this. You don't need to like me. What I'm saying, is it correct? What I'm saying, is it what will help the party? All this struggle, power struggle, cannot help us. A lot of people.
All right, the minister also backed President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, saying he wanted the removal of Governor Siminala Ifubara, and he says that the president's move saved Rivers from implosion, arguing that the decision to appoint a sole administrator following Ifubara's suspension was a step in the right direction.
As a politician, I'm not happy. I wanted outright removal of the governor. As a politician, I'm not happy. But for the interest of the state, the president did the right thing.
As a lawyer?
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. Already the matter is in court. But people must say the truth. The governor was gone. He was gone. Yes, he was gone. So when people say, President, I say, look, if that's where they should be worshiping, they should be worshiping Mr. President. Every morning go to President, can we wash your feet for serving us? How? Mind you, Supreme Court has said, no money can go to local government when it's not democratically elected. Mind you, Supreme Court has said, nobody will go to the state without appropriation. In that situation, there was crisis. All institutions will be shut down. Health will be crisis. Education will be crisis. It is not in my place to make it good for the governor.
What about your state?
And that's what I'm saying as a politician. It is not in my place to make the governor to be happy. It's not me. My business is not to make him comfortable. And that's why there's power play.
It's part of the role you play.
Now, the point I'm trying to make, Mr. President came in and saved the situation, saved the vast people of that calamity.
As Mr. Yensam Wike's position, but of course you know that over the time there has been reactions and counter-reactions about the situation within the People's Democratic Party, PDP. And you saw what happened earlier in the week when the governors of the PDP met in Oyo State, hosted by Governor Seyi Makinde. Thereafter, we had a conversation with Governor Seyi Makinde about the role of the PDP governors and their own decision to come together alongside some members of the National Working Committee led by Mr. Damagum in Oyo State, and they've given their position. They've also set a convention planning committee, a zoning committee. In fact, they've decided to pick venues, and they made strong decisions on behalf of the party to be ratified by NWC and NEC of the party. But Ms. Wike in that media chat has been questioning the powers and the capacity of the governors of the PDP to make such decisions. Well, Mr. Damagum in Yola has been reacting to those who think that the PDP has no capacity. Take a listen to what Mr. Umaru Damagum, the acting national chairman of the PDP, had to say.
And see, we have one chairman in the party, one secretariat. If you look at it vis-a-vis even what is happening in the ruling party that cannot even hold neck for almost 2 years, you don't compare. The PDP is always the party to beat. We are a brand that no one can match, and we know how to solve our internal crisis. And we don't have any crisis as been insinuated by people. Well, not illusion. We have made it clear that the PDP is a brand. And most of these things, these people you've seen, the parties that sprang it, are all offsprings as PDP. So we will remain PDP, but we are opening our doors to all those that have left the party before now to come back home, and so that we'll form a credible course towards 2027.
Well, let's get some insight now on some of these issues, the internal workings of the People's Democratic Party, how the party looks like it's falling apart, and whether it can pick itself up again to be able to head and pose a strong opposition. Nigerians need it, Nigerians want it, because you cannot have a ruling party have an easy ride in governance. I'm being joined by a former governor of Ekiti State, Governor Ayo Fayose. Is live for us in Lagos. Your Excellency, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. It's nice being here after a while.
Thank you so much indeed. Today, for Christians, is very significant, and you know what Easter is. And Peter, in the Bible, you know the role he played, that he betrayed Jesus. I hope your Peter is the rock and you won't betray Jesus this time around. But that's just a joke anyways. You know what Peter did to Jesus?
I am not that Peter.
I
am not that Peter.
You will not betray the PDP.
No, I am not that Peter. I am the modern Peter.
The rock.
Ushoko. Ayo Fayose, the rock.
All right. Your friend held a media chat today. I'm referring to Mr. Yensam Wike. And it does now look like you made a prophecy when you were in Port Harcourt the other time, as he was handing over to Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, the governor, when you warned Mr. Fubara about Mr. Wike, that, look, don't offend Wike because it will cause you a problem. But let me play this to you so that you can react as a former governor, whether or not Minister Wike is right in saying that the PDP governors don't have the power to do what they did in Oyo State. I'd like you to listen to that and get your reaction, Governor Fayose.
You don't have the authority to say that somebody should be acting as national secretary when there's a national secretary who has not resigned. You cannot do that. You don't have power to say, we have formed the committee of zoning. It is not within your prerogative to form zoning committee. And these are things that people like us will challenge any day, any time. And when that happens, people now say, oh, why are they every time making problem? Now, the issue is, who is the one laying the foundation for crisis in the party? And I told people, look, the best way to go about this is you go on that, put your influence, get the results, and then you move on. But to come out openly to say, look, we, the Governors Forum, we have met with the organs of the party. We have met with the National Working Committee. Who are you to say that? A national secretary of a party that was elected, he was not appointed. Yes, it was zoned to a particular area. And he was elected by the delegates at the National Convention. And so if there's anybody that would remove the national secretary of the party, it's through the National Convention.
Mr. Fayose, what is your reaction, or how do you see what Minister Wike said today? Is he right?
Well, Sheung, once again, thank you for having me. And to Nigerians, happy Easter. We'll pray for the blessings of Easter to be for all of us. Again, you know, my name is Ayo Fayose, and my duty at this stage of my life is to be able to do or say what is right. God has helped me to make the necessary impact. So I must be a statesman that is equitable, just, and say it as it is, without deceiving anybody. I am not going to watch brief for the governors, neither will I watch brief for Governor Wike. It's in this current state that we have found ourselves. Truth be told, the situation in the party is unfortunate, regrettable, because these problems didn't start today. In Ekiti, we used to say something. Ojuju, that is, an injury sustained today cannot heal today. We have a backlog of issues. The party till today has not called for any reconciliation, fence mending, bringing people together, trying your best. It is to your turn to host Israel. Everybody doing their thing, power for power, strength for strength. And the ones they can match, they match them. Keep going. You know, when you fall in Mecca, may God save your life. Everybody is defending their tea, their cup, and their position. And when you use one broom to sweep, you catch no impact. But when you use the whole broom to sweep, you get the impact. It is not a denying fact that all is not well with the PDP. All is not well. And except a miracle that can bring this party to the dreamed destination. It's a dream. Sometimes you sleep, you may not wake up. So it's a dream that may not happen if care is not taken. It has affected the party even within the National Working Committee. Show me the peace. Show me the command. Show me where directives are coming from. Nowhere. This has never happened before. But I'm not here to spread blames, because the buck stops at the desk of the working committee. The buck stops at their desk. That is why the party is separated from the executive. And why the party is so separated is to allow everybody to have a level playing ground. But when there's no party, then there's no space for anybody. I was a governor and I gave my best. I never decamped. Even when it was fierce, it wasn't going easy with me. I faced the government of the day. It was not easy. There are, like you asked a question, there are various associations, I say it again, association created to be able to have a voice in the party. One of them is Ministers Association, Ministers Forum. Another one is a forum where former governors meet and take far-reaching decisions and be able to influence it in the party. So, without deceiving myself, I belong to the Association of Former Governors. Everybody that is governor today, you will leave the seat and come to join us. Then let me remind Nigerians and say it very clearly, that association is not known to our constitution. Ministers Forum, Governors Forum, that has nothing to do, and with all due respect to all sitting governors. We have powers as governors. We have strength as governors. But it is obvious that there's very little you can do. The voices belongs to the party, the leadership of the party. That is where the powers comes from, and they are guided by the Constitution. To worsen matters, the pronouncement of a court, either a lower court, challenge, and the appeal court, and the Supreme Court, the last court of the land, is binding on all parties. When Governor Wike was saying, he says there are people, it's only convention that can remove anybody. No. The court can remove or establish, fortunately and unfortunately, wishfully or on whatever. The fact remains that the Supreme Court has established this national security, rightly or wrongly, depending from which angle you are coming from. The first question is that, does the Nigerian president has powers to come out and say, no, we are going to do another thing? It will be that problem I told you that never started today and continue to grow until it becomes a disaster. When Governor Wike was talking today, I wasn't there, I was sleeping. But I saw the snippets all over the social media. But I want to carefully warn. You see, this Wike, is like a bulldozer that you must manage or find a way to avoid. When somebody says, I will come to your house at a particular time, and he arrives there at a particular time, you must know that there's problem. When Shango says, I will visit your house and I will remove your roof, when he was talking, the snappers I saw shows that he says, I'm warning now, I'm saying my own now, before trouble will start. Can we find common grounds to resolve this matter? Because you cannot build something on nothing. You can't build something on nothing. If the Supreme Court says Ayan is the national secretary, okay, every other pronouncement is a nullity, ab initio. Where will it end? It will end up in the fact that okay, if you want to send a nomination to INEC, who will send it? By the Supreme Court judgment. Who will send it? Is this Ayamu and the national chairman? National chairman cannot act in isolation. Ayamu cannot act in isolation. We must tread carefully. Honestly, I am saying it again. I have not seen Wike in a while, but we must tread cautiously. You see, when I say things, you don't have to believe today. You don't have to believe. But when it catches up with you, you will realize that this Fayose told you. This was how I told Nigerians, with all due respect to President Buhari, that he will mess up this country. Everybody was shouting me down, keep quiet, let him do his government. He has done his government, so he has left you wounded. So what are you saying? A Wike is telling us that if you go ahead to ignore the Supreme Court judgment, whatever happens, take it. Oh, me, I don't want us to do it like that. I want the governors to find ways and means to sit with this guy. Find ways and means to move this party forward. If not, I want to believe that there will be no candidate for PDPO. These things that we play with, we build it and play into his hands. When you play into Wike's hand, it becomes a problem.
There are those who will say, look, yes, you are one of those who is causing problem or who caused the problem of the PDP. Some of you, some of your actions, the implosion of the PDP, and now the party is so damaged and is looking, the party is seeking some kind of remediation. But where does the party go from here?
Well, Shehu, I want to correct that, but I take responsibility for all my actions. Why? Is that after 8 years of a northerner, it is the turn of a southerner, which could involve somebody from the east, south, and southwest. Showing those who zoned or gave power back to the north caused all these problems. You don't have to like a Wike. You don't have to like an Obi. But that should be unwritten, respected, gentleman's understanding of power.
But Governor Fayose, there are those who will also disagree with your position. Who will say, where lies the supremacy of the party? The party, and the Supreme Court has also said that the people, politicians must learn how to understand that the party is supreme in its decision. The party says they were going to give a ticket to Atiku, but some of you work against Atiku as a candidate of the party.
Yes, I said it publicly that I worked against Atiku, and I am telling you again, in the second time coming, if Atiku comes again, I will work against him.
Why?
It is time to learn our lesson.
Is that fair? Even if he's a candidate of your party, is that not anti-party? You're a leader of the party. Is that a good example?
Nigerians want to hear and make a decision and have an understanding. The power of a chief executive or a leader continues to hold and have life and strength when he does not abuse the commands of such powers. If an Asiwaju says, because I'm the commander-in-chief, Mr. Soldier, my ADC, shoot that man. So should the ADC shoot the man? No. No. The reality is there is a party supremacy. The party too must be equitable. The party must be responsible. A party or a father or parents that are irresponsible will produce irresponsible children. They will produce irresponsible situations. They will produce rebellion. They will produce anger. Where am I going to, Shehu? Some people can say whatever they like. I am not going to come to the television and be telling lies to people. After Asiwaju's tenure, if and when God gives him his second chance of a second tenure, let a southerner come out. We as leaders at that time, I will be over 70 or about 70 years. I will come out straight that a southerner cannot be president of Nigeria. So don't let us, we are young, we are semi-young people. We must not come here and lead lies and stand with lies.
So this is where politics. So Governor Fayose, this is where politics and democracy seem to be very intricate, right? So a few people might have their voices and their say, but they say that the majority will have their way. But if you say you belong to the political party, Governor Fayose, yeah. But if you're working against a party that you say you belong to, is that a good example? Are you a good party man? And some of you have wounded the PDP now, and the PDP is not able to breathe properly.
The governor of Akwa Ibom, the governor of Delta, they said between party lines, beyond party lines, for the benefit of Nigerians and Nigeria, we will support Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu because he's making progress. The governors are supposed to be our leaders. Do we condemn them for that singular action? Majority of the Republicans who are senior citizens in America, who are past presidents, are not supporting President Trump's policies today. Because of the interest of America, which is more supreme than their personal interests. Listen, Nigeria is bigger than the president of Nigeria. Not to talk of APC, PDP. It is easy to cross from one political party to the other. Are you going to cross from another Nigeria to another Nigeria to another Nigeria? It takes very honest people to be on the side of the truth against their families and brothers.
So you are saying that
very honest Nigerians and courageous people.
So
to
I'm
do
hoping that this is not about Atiku Abubakar, but you are saying this because Atiku Abubakar is from northern Nigeria. So you're saying that for the PDP, if anyone emerges from northern Nigeria as a candidate of the PDP, you will not work with them.
I will not support the person.
But in this case,
take it clearly.
Yeah.
I am not a desperate party man. No. When I was supposed to contest election as governor of Ekiti State, the former president Olusegun Obasanjo wanted his friend. The people wanted me. And the people gave me the support. To his face in Ado Ekiti. When I was coming the second time, the president was inundated by the fact that Fayose should not come. He was impeached. The president came to Ado Ekiti, saw what is on the ground. He couldn't say a word. Power belongs to the people, not to the political class. So,
in that instance, Governor Fayose, if Peter Obi, and I'm imagining that he wants to run again in 2027, you are supporting President Tinubu for a second term, if possible, just because he's a southerner. But what about a Peter Obi or any other person that comes from the south?
Can I ask you one question, Shehu? Have I even announced who I will be supporting in 2027?
Although you said you supported Bola Tinubu in 2023, so I assume that you still have your backing for Bola Tinubu of the APC, although you're a PDP man.
You see, for me, if you compare today and the past, you will still give it to an Asiwaju. Nobody is perfect. The system is rotten. The situation is not easy to manage. But when you compare the inflation, the challenges, you will realize that it's a far cry from the past. That is the reality.
So, but are you able to consider? Are you able to consider?
1 second, I beg of you.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
Just 1 second. In the current situation, with the current situation of the PDP, let us assume, without saying Asiwaju is doing good or not doing good, where is the party that is confronting him? Where is the organized party that is confronting him? Majority of our governors are actually fighting for their own survival. They're fighting for their own survival, which is normal. The ones that are bold enough to come out that I'm supporting Asiwaju, they came out and say it. Everybody is fighting for their own survival. That is the truth.
So let me give a scenario.
Federal elections.
Governor Fayose, let me give a scenario. There are those who are tipping in your party. They are saying Sheyi Makinde will be a good presidential candidate. If you have a Sheyi Makinde, a Peter Obi, and Bola Tinubu on the ballot in 2027, where will you cast your ballot?
Let me say to you, I have, when I saw an advert running on the social media, with all due respect to Governor Makinde, I forwarded it to him. And he called me. And he said he's not running. And he said he doesn't know anything about those flyers. And it was some guys, some boys flying it. He has not told me otherwise. And let me say to you, I will not put words in his mouth. I would rather believe whatever he tells me as a brother. And he told me that he's not going to be the person that will be used against the Yoruba man as president. I stand to be corrected. And I stand there to say that Governor Makinde, by what he has told me, will accept anything changes.
What about
My
Peter
name is
Obi?
Ayo Fayose.
Considering what is happening in the country today, the groaning of a lot of Nigerians about the situation in the country, the economic situation in the country, there are those who say that they're faced with a lot of challenges, and perhaps under the Bola Tinubu's leadership, that Nigerians have seen a range of policy shifts, which immediately is impacting negatively on their pocket, and that perhaps people will be thinking of an alternative. In your mind, with what we have on the ground, is Peter Obi looking like an alternative, an option for you?
Let me take you back to the days of Obasanjo and Olufalaye. People said Olufalaye will have done better. Obasanjo spent 8 years. Yar'Adua came, they said he was an angel. He passed. We had the Jonathan. Everybody came, Jonathan must go, we will not agree. An angel is coming. That angel was the Buhari. Did Buhari do well? I'm not going to answer yes or no. But the question I want to tell you that there's no day you will satisfy people of this country or any country at all. That is life. You own nothing. Your wife is not your own. It's your wife until you pass. Your house is your own until you pass. It belongs to somebody else. Today, you are not honorable until you leave. People are now saying, Jonathan, come back. The same Jonathan they drove many years past. It is best to allow an Asiwaju to conclude his tenure, complete his tenure, because this is a southern slot, and let him fix the country, go as far as he can go. We go back to the north. The problem that did not start today cannot end today. Everybody just try to make it better.
Look at what is going on. The governor said that we're not considering, the governors of the PDP said they're not considering coalition. They're going to stand and build the PDP. But Mr. Atiku Abubakar and a few others are seeking coalition. They're trying to talk to other people across political line and other political interests. In fact, they've met former President Buhari. And there are those who say, you can only dislodge an APC or Bola Tinubu in 2027 with a formidable coalition. What do you make of this plan? And you saw what Nasir El-Rufai had gone to the SDP. What do you make of the planned coalition? Do you think that the APC could be threatened by this kind of coalition?
See, the situation is very clear. Who are these people that are talking about coalition? Yes, what I was saying to you is that Their coalition is a dead horse ab initio.
Why would you say
Tell
that?
me one positive person, one well-respected Nigerians that has given his voice in support of this coalition. If anybody is fighting out of issues with his party, he can resolve that issues with his party. The governor's actions and statement in Ibadan is to tell Alhaji Atiku that we are not with you. We are going nowhere. We have our own identity. That's it. So that coalition is just in the imagination of the people trying to bring it to fusion. So let me say to you, it's a waste of time. I told you earlier, the governors are fighting for their own survival. They don't need an Atiku to fight for their survival. In actual fact, most of them prefer a Tinubu for their own survival than an Atiku. So don't let us deceive ourselves. We know the realities. We don't want to fool ourselves. I've been a governor. When they were talking about the emergency rule and all that, people are calling me. I'm being invited by radio station. I just said, let me sit down, look. At the appropriate time, I will lend my voice. So don't let us waste time about coalition. There's nothing called coalition. Obi cannot go to Atiku. Atiku cannot go to Obi. Buhari has disassociated himself from it. And a number of people. You see the rate at which the PDP is decamping and defecting. How many people are defecting from APC? So don't let us fool ourselves. Something is fundamentally wrong in PDP that needs to be fixed.
How would that be fixed?
So when that is fixed,
how would that
we'll
be
have
fixed?
a way forward.
Governor Fayose, who will help the PDP? Who can resuscitate the PDP? Who can give life back to the PDP? Are you going to watch why PDP die? This party gave you opportunity to become governor.
Yes. My mother gave me opportunity to be a child. My father gave me opportunity to be his son. Rebuilding myself comes after that because my mother will not live my life for me. Democracy is a choice. The worst thing in PDP is the lying spirit, the deception. People are doing something in the afternoon, they are doing another one in the night. When I was in PDP, when I was governor, I stood by PDP. Even when you have sitting governors defecting, I never defected. We have made our impact and we have done our best. When we had the platform, the opportunity, I stood my ground. Even this year, some Wike was not as hot as I was at the time. I handed over to him as my younger brother. I was but when you got to a point, when you see a troublemaker, his trouble is bigger than your own trouble, you take it easy. You carry your wahala, you sempe small. That was why I told you, when a Wike is fighting, we must find a way, what I call melembe, so that you are not consumed by the trouble. All we need is peace in PDP and nothing more. But you cannot build a family with everybody around you mad and self-seekers.
I imagine that you're supposed to be perhaps the biggest political personality in PDP in Ekiti State as the former governor, and you are perhaps you've held the highest office, the last in the state, and so a lot of people will be looking up to you. But are those who in your party believe that you are working against the interests of the PDP in Ekiti State? After Anambra election, Ekiti comes next. Even your own siblings are not happy with you. Your brother, I said, spies your politics and is no longer going to support you. Your own brother, another brother of yours, Otumba, he also wants to be governor, and they think that you are working against your party, and you have openly declared support for the governor, who is an APC member. They say that this is anti-party activity that you are engaged in. Governor Fayose, what again are you doing to the PDP in the state?
There's only one Fayose known to Nigerians. So I would want to discuss my brothers on the national television.
What about Isaac and Otumba?
To contest
they are also Fayose.
They are my brothers. They are my beloved brothers. I am central today by the grace of God to the Fayose family. I am the co-carrier and Luwala of that family. So I understand what I'm saying. So if my brother or my brothers are doing whatever they are doing, I should do better. I shall continue to love them. Because I can't replace them with Chinwo Kimbalui. A bad boy today can become a wonderful boy tomorrow. But when it comes to politics, nobody takes it away from me because I'm their leader. I know Ekiti more than anybody among them, among Ekiti people. The only person that is my senior in the politics of Ekiti is Niyi Adebayo. Fayemi follows me. I was governor before Governor Segun. I was the Ekun of the road, the lion of the road. That time they know that there was don't let me go into that. So let me tell you this. In Ekiti, if we want to have peace, we don't want to come here and be deceiving anybody. There is nobody that will defeat Abiodun Oyebanje. Forget his party. I didn't mention APC here. Go to the state, you can see.
What would you say Oyebanje has done?
In life, myself and Adebayo, just wait, you want Nigerians to know the fact. There are two styles of life. One is political. Another one is human relation. There are 4 governors that have been at one time or the other. Adebayo, myself, Fayemi, and Segun. I want to tell you, the 4 of us are supporting Governor Oyebanje. Anyone among us that is saying Fayose is lying, let him come out. So, tell me how an election can be won without the 4 of us. Oyebanje today, I don't know how God accepts him. I want to tell you, Oyebanje will win in all the wards. There are 177 wards. I have the record. I have the record of 158 out of 177. With what is on ground after Anambra election, Ekiti comes in, Oyebanje will win in 177 wards. He will win my ward. My brother can contest, so let him get the ticket of PDP first. When he gets the ticket of PDP, we'll come back to the family. So let's leave that one for now. Listen again. Fayose is Niyi Adebayo is from the central. In actual fact, Niyi Adebayo is from the same local government as myself. The majority leader of the Senate today, Okoyemi Bambele, is from the same local government with me. The current governor is from the central, where I come from, where Adebayo comes from. So my hometown, which is the central too, will still produce another governor. So the other people will be looking as Mumu. Remember that I was the first person that pushed a southern candidate through Professor Eleka. I am sure the sitting governor there can listen and hear me. Nobody can go to another senatorial district after this election than the South. Because people will resist it. So, for now, tomorrow is still far. Let me leave it like that. I am a supporter of the governor because he's performing. He has good human relations. He respects us. And politics is about the people and the leadership. We influence the people to do what they want to do. Anybody who wants to contest in Ekiti now should come after 2030. Forget about any party you come from. 2030. This election.
Does this encourage opposition, Governor Fayose? There are those perhaps who are criticizing you right now, watching, will say, oh, maybe Fayose is playing the politics of any government in power. I mean, how do you defend this kind of criticism?
Shehu, I'm a former governor. Shehu, I'm a former governor. There's still change in my pockets. There's still change. I had no godfather when I became the governor of Ekiti. People may say Adebayo's father was instrumental to his ascension. People may say Fayemi was supported by Anti-Tinubu. People may say Governor Oni was supported by Obasanjo. People may even still say that the current governor was supported by Fayemi and Adebayo. I went through thick and thin to become the governor of Ekiti. I spent through it. I stand to be corrected. Mention my godfather in politics of Ekiti. Please, a governor remains a governor for life. I want to tell you, at this age, money is good, but does not totally mobilize people like us anymore. Let me tell you finally, I have no other states to return to other than Ekiti. What is the government in power? Was I there when Ayo Fayose was there? Did I visit him for one day? No. Did I visit Oni when he was there? No. And the current governor has visited me over 18, 20 times. And he will tell you I've been to his office. He invited me to his office once or twice. That's all. The gentleman deserves to be supported, and I'm there. No apologies.
Give us an understanding of where we are headed in this country, because there's a fear about opposition and voice of dissent. How do you think that the Tinubu government should handle this better?
Handle what?
Opposition politics, because we can't run a nation where the ruling party have a free day and they just go on as do what they like. I mean, the voice of dissent, a lot of people feel that they are being echoed by the party in power, and that free speech is being also impaired by the party in power.
So let me just help you here. Let's leave Tinubu aside now. We must not shy away from history, the politics of Nigeria. When Obasanjo was in power, 4 ministers were appointed, four Awoists. 4 Awoists, Ebenezer Babatope, Bola Ige. In fact, Bola Ige and Ebenezer Babatope were from Osun, and others were appointed by Obasanjo in what he called a government of national unity. Let me go a little further. During Buhari's administration, the then governor of Ebonyi and the then governor of Cross Rivers crossed to APC. And let me equally round it up by saying that today, at that time, Ashwaju was not the president. I started this conversation by telling you people are doing politics of survival. The governors are not talking about the presidential elections. They are talking about their own survival. That is where the situation is. And I cannot deny, I cannot lie to you. My survival comes before I can save my wife and children. When I said I must fight Buhari throughout, I paid dearly for it. I've been in court for the last 7 years. They hit me on my neck. I had 3 surgeries. So please, politics of survivor, you won't blame the people that wants to survive. I'm not blaming the governors. I'm not blaming anybody. But I don't like people who gives an impression they are saints, whereas they are not.
All right. Dr. Fayose, we are totally out of time. I wish I could allow you to speak, just if you can, in 15 seconds, if you can, please, on the situation in Rivers State, the state of emergency. Your friend Wike says that he wished that the president had not declared state of emergency. He wanted Mr. Fubara to be impeached. If you can do that in 15 seconds, I'll be glad.
I do not support an emergency rule because I was a victim of an emergency rule. Obasanjo did that unfairly and unjustly to me. And the powers in the Constitution did not give the president all the powers to remove a sitting elected governor of a state. That I differ totally from the position taken by Mr. President.
Yeah, we're totally out of time. Well, I must thank you so much on a Easter Friday.
God bless you.
Mr. Peter Ayodele Fayose, please do not betray the PDP just like Peter in the Bible did to Jesus when he denied. So thank you so much.
There's nothing to betray the PDP.
Thank you so much. That was a joke. Thank you so much.
God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Happy Easter to you, all of you, wherever you may be watching. I'm sure Kimale. God bless Nigeria.